Okay, we gotta talk about the Coffeezilla situation. Basically, if you didn't know, there's a YouTuber or podcaster called Adam22 who is now calling Coffeezilla a grifter for exposing his crypto scam. Now, you might have heard of Adam22 from certain other situations where he was pimping out his wife to certain actors to make more money. Keep in mind, Adam has a kid who was being shown in his social media posts as well. They are certainly going to have insane level of trauma from this, probably going to get bullied in school. It is just a disgusting situation all around, and because of that, Adam became the laughingstock of the internet.
We had the situation with Jason Love 2 years ago.
Do you think that you her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
Right. Anyways, it turns out he's gone on a podcast called Clickbaited. This is ran by the Dexerto News account, and he decided to talk shit about Coffeezilla trying to expose him. And I don't like pointing this out because usually it's not relevant and I want to address people's arguments instead, but for someone so clout obsessed, you gotta play ball. Dude, this video got 947 views. Bro, what the heck? I legitimately thought this was a YouTube glitch or something, but the video had like 20 likes, so this is the actual view count. And if you look at the guests before this, we literally had Vicstar from the Sidemen, Laserbeam, Mark Rober, and then they ran out of popular guests and I guess went with Adam22. Anyway, so Coffeezilla uploaded a new video titled Adam22 addresses scam allegations. So let's just go over this whole situation.
Now, Adam22 used to like me. He used to invite me on his show, but now he's mad. He says I'm the grifter. Why? Because I called him out when he ran a scam, and I warned him ahead of time. What's so crazy about this story is we're about to go through his explanation, but what fails is that I told him ahead of time. He's going to say, oh, I didn't know it was going to be shady. I had no idea. But I told him before he ever promoted it. So the irony is he's telling people, oh, Coffeezilla's the grifter. He's making videos about this stuff. I wouldn't have made the video if you hadn't run the coin.
Funny how absolutely everybody used to be a Coffeezilla fan until they got exposed for their crypto scam. I remember even Logan Paul was a huge fan of Coffeezilla. I love his work, actually. Great investigative work. Truly exposing the scammers. Oh wait, now he's talking about me. Now I just hate his guts. Now I'm going to sue him because I'm a petty billionaire and I want to make his life hell. But yeah, essentially what happened is Adam22 was about to do a crypto scam, and Coffeezilla anticipated this and actually DM'd him and let him know beforehand. He said that, hey, you know, these people you're working with can't be trusted. There's a bunch of snipers. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to do a scam or you're going to yourself get scammed. And Adam obviously did not care about this and ignored the warning, and he went through with the scam. And now he's trying to pretend that he had no idea what was going on. He's trying to pretend that Coffeezilla never warned him, and now he's calling Coffeezilla a grifter. So here's some DMs from them from earlier this year.
And then you did it anyways because you don't care about your fans. Here's the quotes here. Real talk, you shouldn't run a coin. It's lame and you're going to get scammed. You're going to scam or get scammed. He says, how am I going to afford all this Galaxy gas? Then I told him these snipers were planning to already snipe the coin. Quote, people are literally plotting to snipe the coin, make a bundle off someone who doesn't know any better. So this is all pre him actually doing it. Now he's saying, oh, I didn't know. Nobody told me. Coffeezilla's a grifter for covering the fact that I did it anyways.
All right, I'm actually sick of this. We got to pull up the dictionary definition of grifter, okay? We got a person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. Or we can look at this definition, a person who engages in grifting, often using charm, persuasion, or deceit to manipulate others. And the example given, the con artist was a skilled grifter, convincing people to invest in a fake business before disappearing with their money. Wow, I wonder who this applies to between Adam22 and Coffeezilla, guys. Dude, it's so obvious that Coffee is not grifting. He's obviously just exposing bad actors and legitimate scammers. And we found out in the last video when I was talking about Logan Paul that Coffeezilla is taking it a step further. He's not doing it for some quick YouTube views that might be a side bonus or whatever. And I'm sure he enjoys making videos and stuff like that. But this guy, behind the scenes, is legitimately reporting people to the FBI and the SEC. This guy is reporting people to the US government. And what's even more insane, some of these people are legitimately getting arrested. The flippin' SEC is thanking him for his detailed reports or something and his thorough analysis and shit.
Specifically, it's common knowledge that he had a strong hand in blowing open the lid about the FTX fraud, and that's a big reason why Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted of a number of federal offenses.
Dude, Coffee is a absolute legend. He's literally doing God's work here, cleaning up the trash, and the fact that Adam just calls him a grifter is just insane. That term is reserved for clowns like yourself. And the thing is, now we even know that he was warned before he did the crypto scam, right? So he can't even pretend, because the thing is, Coffee literally told you, and you can't even argue that, oh, I didn't see the DMs, or I didn't talk to Coffee. You saw the DMs, you flippin' responded, you knew exactly what you were doing. In fact, let's actually just go over those texts in detail, because Coffee kind of skimmed over it, right? Okay, so basically Coffee says these guys want to snipe your coin, and then he says, I don't care, I just got paid to do the tweet, I got nothing to do with it. Brother, if you are promoting something, you have something to do with it now. By promoting something, you are putting your name on it, and you are taking responsibility for whatever this is. So Coffee responds saying, that's even worse, scamming the fans? Adam responds, I'm gonna venture a guess that approximately 0% of my fans know how to do anything with crypto. Okay, keep this message in mind, because there's actually a very telling clip about this specific text later in the video that we'll be looking at. Anyways, Coffee responds saying, I don't believe that. Obviously not 0%. Even my audience, who has nothing to do with crypto, there's more than 0% who are interested in crypto, obviously, but just by the sheer number of people that are watching, right? I don't believe that. But setting it aside, you do know it's a grift, right? People are literally plotting to snipe the coin, make a bundle off someone who doesn't know any better. How much did they offer you? So Coffee obviously knows he's getting paid to do this shit. And after seeing all these texts, which is a clear warning to Adam22 exactly what is going to happen, Adam willingly decides to ignore this because he wanted to make a quick buck. And adding some additional context here, I don't know if Coffee knew this about him or he didn't think it was relevant or whatever, but Adam has actually said in the past that he was kind of going broke as well, and his business was absolutely failing. Now, that is just his word, but he did seem desperate enough to try to pull stunts like this.
He was on the verge of losing everything regarding his No Jumper brand, coming forward publicly to announce that he had been burning through money like crazy and was no longer turning a profit from this venture.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
I wanted to just give that context as to why he's so desperate to make money, right? Now, obviously, going broke is not a justification at all for this. I don't care if you're dirt cheap poor, you don't get to crypto scam people, okay? That's not how the world works. Now, what I also don't understand is that this guy has been selling his soul for money in like every avenue possible, right? So he was literally selling out his own wife or whatever, and putting that on possibly OnlyFans or other shit like that. So I'm just confused, where did all of that money go? Like, how are these people so astronomically bad with their finances? Like, when you make like $1 million or a couple $1,000,000, where is that money? Like, just freaking invest it so you never have to worry about anything ever again. I just don't understand this logic. They're so flippin' stupid. And then they end up having to do the most deplorable, humiliating shit humanity has ever seen. So anyways, getting back to the video, basically the interviewer then confronts Adam22 about Coffee exposing him, and then he responds.
We have to correct the record sometimes on these guys because they go on these podcasts after they've been called out and they address things. Have you ever heard that? Adam22 responds. Adam22 addresses crypto pump and dump accusations. But the addressing is always a subtle recharacterization of what actually happened.
Coffeezilla blasts Adam22 for launching crypto pump and dump despite warnings. Basically, someone was hounding me, telling me that they would pay me a large sum of money to do a crypto promotion on my story. I thought it's just a random ad deal type thing. I do ad deals all the time for like, thousands of dollars. Why would I not do something for hundreds of thousands of dollars? I thought nobody was going to care.
All right, so the first part of his explanation is, look, I thought I could get away with it. I thought nobody would care. Nobody would address this.
Yep, so basically that is exactly what it is. Adam just didn't think that people would care enough, right? He thought that he could just get away with it and nobody would look into it, or, people would just forget. And that is the real reason why he actually went through with it. It's not that he didn't know it was a scam. It was that he absolutely knew it was a scam, but thought he could get away with it. Also, that excuse is so insane. People were just hounding me constantly. What does that even mean? This is almost like certainly over social media because these are some random crypto people. So what, they were messaging you on Twitter? Wow, that is so hard to ignore, man. You're literally a creator with millions of followers. You get a million messages. Ignore them. That is literally part of the job. You know how many dumbass sponsor messages I've gotten? Like promote the latest crypto meme coin or whatever? You simply just don't respond or tell them you're not interested. It's simple as that. Acting like you have no choice. Oh, they were flooding my inbox. I just had to do it. Shut up and take some responsibility for once in your life. Now, after this, Coffee talks about an old clip where Adam essentially admits why he went through with the scam.
But here's the thing. I found an old clip of Adam22 talking about this, and I realized there's actually a different reason. He knows that it's not about people not caring. It's that there's only so many videos that grifters like me can ultimately make. And you see Adam22, the wheels turning a few years ago, where he realizes maybe you just get away with it.
Millions of dollars off it, and it's trash. They're not tweeting about it anymore. They made bags off it, and they didn't really incur that much of a social penalty because it's like Coffeezilla can only make videos about so many people. Like the shit that he made videos about Steve will do it doing, or the Save the Kids thing or whatever. It's like those are just the ones that were big enough for it to
those
be
are the
worth
highlights.
Him catching. You know, it's like so many people. Like I remember when Soulja Boy was just selling every single tweet of his ever. He probably made a of money off that, and nobody even remembers.
And there it is!
Yeah, so if I can get away with it, then it's okay. That is the logic he is operating off of. Let's just ignore the morality of scamming people or even the legality of it, right? Just ignore all of that. The only thing that matters is if I can get away with it without it completely destroying my career. I mean, it's a little one-time thing. Nobody's gonna notice. I mean, people are focused on other things. Coffee is busy. You know, he's busy with the big frogs like Logan Paul and shit. He's not gonna expose me. Nobody's gonna expose me. I'm too much of a small fry. Nobody's gonna even notice. Also, I'm distracting everybody with my random puck shit on the internet. So essentially, he wanted to be a slippery little snake, right? Oh, the spotlight's not on me. And, you know, he's kind of right there, right? Clearly from this interview, bro is absolutely irrelevant. That doesn't give you a free pass to just scam people. That is just not okay. Heck, we got people like Johnny Somali who have no money, no career, and no clout, yet people still talk about him because they just don't like his actions. You don't have to be popular to be exposed. But I do see his logic, and a lot of people sort of use that to get away with scummy actions. Then he talks about having absolutely no idea about the rug pull, even though Coffee obviously told him about it.
I mean, need I say more? The guy realized what a lot of people realize, which is just like, if everyone's doing it and you do it, you probably get away with it. And so people like Adam22 just think, oh, not that nobody would care, like he says in this addressing, but he thinks he can get away with it. But then he takes a step further, which I cannot allow, and he says, oh, I had no idea something nefarious would have happened.
And I also had no idea about any sort of nefarious intent. People are saying that this was a rug pull. I didn't know. I didn't realize that this was going to be the same type of thing that I've watched so many Coffeezilla videos about.
Adam, I told you. This is the thing. This is what kills me. Is people, when I come to them, they go, oh, I had no idea. If I had known, I would have never done it, right? They say, if you had only warned me, Steven, if only you had told me before, I just wish I had known better. This guy knew better. He knew. People are literally planning to snipe the coin, make a bundle off someone who doesn't know any better. He just had no idea, guys. It's not like somebody was telling him as before it happened.
I think I believe Adam, guys. He had no idea. I mean, he only openly talked about it. Coffee warned him about it. He responded, but he still had no idea. You know, makes perfect sense to me. This whole situation reminds me of KSI, who pulled the same excuse, right? I'm just too stupid, guys. I just didn't understand what I was doing. I might be a mega millionaire, owner of several bajillion businesses, but I just don't understand basic things. It's too complex for me. You know, tweeting the exact opposite of what I'm doing. I thought my audience would mind read me, know that I'm stupid, and do the exact opposite of what I say, right? Absolutely ridiculous individuals we have to deal with on the internet, bro. And I've kind of realized at this point, crypto scams are like the easiest way an influencer can make a quick buck, rip off their audience, and then just disappear with like no consequences. I think the only easier way to make money is probably like OnlyFans or something, but at least nobody is getting scammed there. They know what they're getting. I mean, there's a whole different set of issues with that, but this is not not like a new thing. Essentially, the reason people do this is because they feel like they're not going to get prosecuted for financial fraud or something because it's just not regulated. And yet, top to bottom, we got everybody doing this, from Logan Paul to the idiots like the Hawk Tuah girl who just blew up, and every idiot in between like Adam22. And the people falling for these scams are just another breed, right? How many times do people need to warn you that you're not 200 IQ? You're not the only one that's going to make money from it. You're not the exception. You're not gaming anything, all right? The odds are rigged against you, all right? You're going to get scammed. So stop falling for this shit. Then Adam says that he thought that Coffee's warning was a joke. I don't even know what that means.
I want to go through the rest of this because it just sheds light on the my general frustration with influencers at large. We've sort of gone through cycles of people promoting the kind of bad things and getting a little pushback on it. But ultimately, some of them are realizing now that if there are no consequences, or if there is really a low chance you're even going to get any coverage on it, it's maybe worth the risk of just promoting things you have no stake in, that are scammy, or you don't even use because whatever, it's just the bag. That's all that matters these days, right? Nothing else matters except money.
Coins, it's like, to me, I thought that everybody would kind of get the joke. But it turns out there's a lot of people out there trying to make money off meme coins. So, I guess some people lost money or whatever.
Coffee kind of said he warned you. Were you not concerned when he said that?
I mean, to me, it was just like a joke.
It was a joke. I got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for, according to Adam22.
Hilarious joke, actually. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Just a prank, bro. It was a little gag, you fool. Yes, I made $100,000 off of scamming my audience, but it's a funny hee hee hee. Bro, I'm sick of this. Adam22 needs to be humbled. Bro needs a Vitaly experience in a Philippines prison. By the way, did you guys see that Vitaly literally shrunk in half? I mean, it's hilarious. Bro acted like this tough guy trying to harass people in public, and now he's literally just deteriorating in the prison cell. I mean, I'm just guessing the steroids finally wore off, and I'm guessing he's not getting enough food as well. So yeah, F around and find out, dude. Anyways, back to Adam22. If you legitimately think it's a joke, like a funny meme, that you're scamming your own fans out of money, the people who supported you and gave you a career, you're just a disgusting, deplorable piece of shit. Turns out other people actually work really hard for their money. They work an actual job, and they can't just pimp out the mother of their child to make the money back like you do. Now, after this, Adam makes like the dumbest comparison ever. He compares crypto scams to a regular sponsorship.
Ad deal type thing. I do ad deals all the time for like, thousands of dollars. Why would I not do something for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Same level of weight as when I do an ad for a fantasy sports thing. I feel like every single person that watches my content knows that I don't play fantasy sports. I felt like, in the past I was doing ads for something that was like a vape, but it's flavored air. And I feel like every single person who watches that ad gets it. That I don't know what the am I using a device to inhale flavored air? I'm going to be honest with you. No, I'm not.
I mean, is that not insane to anyone else? Like, the excuse is, well, you guys should have known I never would use the stupid stuff I'm selling you anyways. That's so crazy.
So Adam22's masterful response is, well, actually, everything I promote is a scam, and I don't believe it in any way, so it just doesn't matter. Okay, let's just break that down. I think the sponsor comparison is really weird, and not even the specific ones he talked about. Obviously, if you want to do sponsors, that you generally want it to be something you believe in. That's like the best case scenario, right? For example, I use NordVPN. I wouldn't mind promoting it. Whatever, obviously, not paid video, by the way. But even sponsors you don't really believe in, I think it's fine to promote it as long as it's not like an explicit scam, right? Because, content creation is a hard career if you need to pay the bills or whatever, or it's helping you produce better content. Viewers mostly understand that. You can promote the random mobile game or whatever the hell, or the perfume or the electrolyte pack or whatever, as long as it's helping you make better content, pay your editors, pay your rent, whatever. But I think comparing stuff like that to a literal crypto scam, the purpose of which is to give you literally no value. You're not buying a product or a service or anything. The whole point is to trick your fans into thinking they have a chance to make money, so they invest a bunch in it, and then you just rug pull underneath them, right? And you essentially just scam them out of all of their money. That is completely different. And one of those is borderline illegal, if not actually illegal. Obviously, I don't know the exact like lawyer terms or the specific law that's being broken, but it does fall under some level of financial fraud, I would think. Anyways, then Coffee talks about how Adam is more pressed with YouTube videos rather than being caught by the law.
So, yeah, I guess some people lost money or whatever.
Oh, and finally, I should say, I too find it unacceptable that this guy's biggest concern is a YouTuber making a video instead of like what he's doing being caught by law enforcement. The fact that that never occurs to this guy is actually the worst part. I think if you promote things that you know are a scam, there should actually be real consequences, but I guess that's asking for too much.
Yeah, I mean, there should obviously be consequences if you're promoting something you absolutely know is a scam, which Adam22 did in this case. It's a completely different thing if you were being misled or taken advantage of in some capacity or whatever. But the thing is, with the modern day crypto scene, I'm pretty sure everybody knows now that this stuff is scammy, and Adam was personally informed as well. If Adam was actually smart, he would not even respond to Coffeezilla. At least then he could claim ignorance, like, oh, well, I just didn't know about this crypto stuff, man. Oh, I didn't see your message, Coffeezilla. My bad, actually. But obviously, he's dumb as a goldfish. He can't even think straight for more than 2 seconds. He's so cuck-brained. But I didn't think that Coffee could literally make an entire career out of this. I didn't know, like, how many of these crypto scams were actually there. The fact that he has entire channels dedicated to this shit. And the worst part is that Adam22 is kind of right. He actually got it right that, you know, you can pull out one of these scams and then go on with the career and nobody's going to care. In fact, KSI, Logan, and Mr. Beast all did this type of dumb shit, and they all used their respective excuses. Well, I'm too stupid, guys. Oh, I made a game. I was actually working on it. Oh, it was my team that did it, not me, even though I'm definitely very involved. It's a bunch of scumbags who were looking for a quick, easy buck, and honestly, it worked. They got their millions, and nobody cares anymore. They all have thriving careers, and they're all, like, loved by their communities. And this is not, like, minor petty stuff. This is millions of dollars in potential financial fraud. Like, stuff that can legitimately put you in prison. And that's kind of why people like Coffee are so frustrated with this whole thing, with how many people there actually are getting away with all of this type of shit. Now, I also wanted to look at this clip of Adam just admitting he knew exactly what he was doing, and he's, like, insulting the intelligence of his own audience, meaning he knows that they're stupid enough to fall for his scam.
And you know what they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. The guy had already shilled himself out to a crypto shitcoin that he dubbed the coin.
They're not going to Adam22 for their financial advice?
They know about lean. They know about yerkies. They know about probably gooning out, beating their meat for hours at a time. I don't think that they are crypto spectators.
Right, so remember that DM he made. This is basically the same sentiment here, where he says his audience knows nothing about crypto. So what does that actually mean? That means they don't know shit, and they'll probably just listen to their favorite creator rather than doing their own independent research. And it's such a sweet deal for you. You make a quick buck, they lose their hard-earned money, and they have no idea what even happened. And you know, I'm defending the people who get scammed a lot, because obviously nobody deserves that, right? But I just can't get over the fact that people watch Adam22 and thought that investing in something he promoted was a good idea. Like, who actually is his audience? The demographic has to be like iDubbbz, dude, because nobody enjoys this level of cuck behavior. You gotta be a special type of lobotomite to enjoy current day Adam22 content. Bro humiliated his wife and kid for a few bucks and apparently is still broke. Like, it's just so sad.
Jason loved piping out Adam22's wife on a yacht. They put a nice little visual image up there, which I will not be showing you guys today. But Adam replies to that and says, so proud of my baby going out and paying the bills while I get my finances together. Gotta think about the family business, and sometimes the family business requires a large man blowing a load in her mouth, which is obviously a disgusting way to talk about the mother of your children. Like, but when you bring a child into the picture and you're posting her on Instagram and all these different things, something about it just becomes deeply immoral to me.
It is absolutely immoral because they just aren't thinking about their kid or the trauma they'll have to grow up with. Adam clearly has zero respect for his wife and vice versa. And I mean, to each their own, obviously, they can do whatever. I personally find it repulsive and disgusting. And I think there's a pattern. If your morals are shaky in one aspect of your life, turns out your morals can be very shaky in other aspects as well. So it's no surprise someone like this did something like that. And it seems like Adam has just accepted his fate.
Is that if my next child comes out African American, I'm gonna love him or her and raise them like my own, because that's how woke I am, brother.
Your daughter is going to need therapy when she gets older. Everything you guys do is on the internet. You think she won't find out? All because your love for money is stronger than your love for her. And I guess that one hit Adam a little bit too close to home because he would end up blocking this guy.
Well, it turns out the truth hurts. Now click this video or you grow up and become an Adam22, which might be worse than iDubbbz at this point. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.